So hey, how's it going? Figured I'd actually start one of these a little earlier in the day. Normally I'm jumping on these things around like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night, and I'm a little burnt by then. So hopefully this earlier session will be a little bit better. But oh sorry, just got distracted. Um so yeah, gonna start this a little bit earlier. Gonna see what I can get done. I'm just gonna try to jam till 6. Um in the coming days, I'm gonna see if I can try to carve out like from 4 to 6 to work on this stuff and do a stream and share the updates that I'm working on for Skylounge. So Skylounge is basically going to be a blue sky kind of alternative to like X or Twitter Spaces. At least that's the plan. We'll see how far I get. I feel like it's going to be okay, but you know, you never know what might end up running against. I feel like the WebRTC stuff will be fine. I think there's probably going to be some scenarios where I'm going to run into just maybe some drift and other stuff. We'll see how far I can go there. But yeah, for now, I'm actually just trying to get the project up and running. And the last 2 streams, essentially, the first stream, I just kind of got the initial repo kind of scaffolded out, got the next site up and published with just a subscribe form. So you can find that at skylounge.social. And as far as what I ended up kind of accomplishing last night was we plumbed in all of the stuff within the API to negotiate the Bluesky authentication. And at the same time, I'm running into some funky stuff with the NX repo for whatever reason. It's like it's choosing different defaults that are being applied to like the package JSON. And I think there were some scenarios where the package name that it was applying was just like different than what the actual project directory is. So I think I have most of those cleaned up, but I am going to have to probably address a few. For whatever reason, it just doesn't seem to find the connect library. But I don't know. We'll figure that out. That's going to be the first thing. Then I'm going to probably basically write the migration for the initial schema, even though I don't know if it's really finalized yet. And if necessary, we might have to blow that away at some point. But I just want to get everything up and running. I want to get the Bluesky Auth confirmed, and then I'm going to start digging into the UI and go from there. But I also have a jam session, or not a jam session, but like a shared Spotify like playlist here. So I'll post that out. And actually, let me see. We'll see here. Yeah, I made the bold commit of committing to a Twitch schedule. We'll see if I stick to it. I already broke it day 0. But I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. I feel like I'm in one of those like manic states where I just need to get something jamming. It was a long day on the client / like contracting front. Too much slack going on. But I don't know. For some reason, I was gonna blast this in the Twitter channel too, but Twitter on my phone just doesn't seem to want to load. It's all good. I probably don't need it anyways. So Yeah, let's go over to some code view action. Let me just make sure I got the right window up here. Yeah, that looks about right. I'll zoom it up for you. Ooh, a little too much. But yeah, this is the thing I'm trying to solve right here. For whatever reason, this just doesn't seem like it wants to pick up this package name. So what is different? There's also some scenarios where, oops, what the heck? I also feel like for whatever reason, it's not respecting my prettier settings and some other stuff. There's something going on. I haven't ran into this many issues with like a monorepo before, like within NX, but I don't know. I mean, I guess maybe I'm somehow on some sort of like legacy setup on with it, and the other ones that don't seem to cause this many issues. And the fact that the one thing with NX is you have these, they kind of create these paths within the TS config to map your apps so they can reference like the libraries and stuff that you're creating. And normally these are actually kind of aliased paths where you can define the name and then what it maps to. But it seems like they've moved over to having a package JSON file in the root of each one of these. And that's how it's kind of scaffolding stuff up. But something doesn't seem right. And I keep doing like NX reset and some other stuff, and doesn't seem to have any effect. But that's what I'm trying to solve right now. So basically this directory right here has a path, and I can kind of just walk you through some of the basic stuff here. We have our API, which is a Nest, N-E-S-T API. We have the site, which is a Next app, just using, I'm actually still using page router stuff, but it works. Yeah, and like stuff like this. Like, I don't know why it's not finding this stuff. Yet it all loads. So that's the funny thing. It's like it's only a problem in the repo, or like in the IDE mind, or like the ESLint or TS config stuff. But I resolved a lot of them. I think this one will be resolved once I actually publish or like write the schema or generate the migration, I think. But I did generate the types, and at the same time, I'm not sure why that is. But if I do Prisma client, it seems like it works. So that's not where I'm publishing it, and so it's going to get the wrong one. So that's why I'm not going that route. But again, just weird little anomalies with how this stuff's wired up, and the fact that it's kind of barking about some of these Nest things, which are correct. So I'm not really sure. But we're getting there. These are the things that just kind of derail the fun stuff of actually building and making stuff fun. But We'll get through it. So yeah. Yeah, today was just way too much Slack stuff going on. I don't think it's a buildable library. Although I guess it does have feet, so. Thought that was just for tests though. Yeah. So actually just gonna do a little build here. See if there's anything that's complaining about. Maybe that's it. If this ends up taking too long, I'm probably just gonna jump over to working on some UI stuff, and then we'll figure it out. So that's API Prisma. That's API Prisma. I literally just did that. No. Okay, let's see what we got here. They'll even add a little verbose on here to get some more stuff. What is going on? I literally just changed this before. Maybe I have like a rogue agent running, changing stuff. I have no idea. Whoops. Literally, I mean, it's like this stuff's like somehow reverting back to previous times. Yeah, hopefully we can get through this. All right, that looks good. All right, let me run this again and let me, yes, sync changes to run the task. I just want to stop asking me for that prompt actually. So maybe there's, I think it referenced the setting. I can change that. Make sure you run nx sync to apply identified changes or set apply changes to true in your nx file. Okay. So let's go to the nx. Apply changes. They give me like a link I can go check out. All right, now I guess the next test is, can I serve the API or is it going to complain? Okay. Address already in use I can fix. So that's just up here on the main file for now. So go 3006. Address already in use. Oh. Okay, we're going to go look at the website for a little bit while I deal with some stuff real quick, some secret stuff. I don't know. I didn't think I was setting it. I don't think I am. Maybe that port's coming in somewhere else. This is the other thing that kind of changed. There used to be a project JSON in NX, and then that's where you could kind of configure these ports and stuff. They seem to do away with that for some reason. And no, I guess I got my Webpack. But basically it seems like they did away with those, but that was like where you would kind of go in and configure ports and other stuff, and it was kind of handy. So I guess maybe in the meantime, I will just configure this port in the just to get something up and working. And then that's at 3001. Okay. So let's see here. I think I've done hidden all the secret stuff. No, that didn't work either. Oh, that's just for the debugger. Actually, that should be fine. So actually, this might be working. Okay, so I think that's good. I guess the next moment of truth is I'm still complaining about this, which is just wild. Current file is a common JS module whose imports will produce required calls. However, the reference Is this gonna make it blow up or is it gonna make it work? See, this is like the shell game you gotta play. It's like you fix one thing, it breaks another thing. Yeah, I don't think that's what we want. Super annoying. This is why people don't want to work on this shit anymore. All right. You know what? We're just going to get into doing some design stuff because this just seems like it's going to spiral into more than I care to deal with. And I was really hoping to be able to test the Bluesky flow just to make sure that it's working. Actually, let's see. So NX run. Oh yeah. I'll do this in the window so you can actually see it. Like popped over to the terminal. But yeah, these are these things that just kind of suck the wind out of the sails when you're working through some of this stuff. So we'll do NX run Prisma schema migrate. Just the initial migration, it ran. So that should be up and running. Go to the site header. Got this connect button here. And we'll make sure that import is coming in. Okay, so if I go over here, we do have the connect button. It's not really wired up to anything right now, but we'll get it there. So just going to do a quick reference here. So I go into auth provider. So I might have to carry some of this stuff over here. Yeah. So I'm going to carry some context stuff over here. We're going to set that up in the next app and then should be good. So we're going to have auth provider. Oh, it should be TSX. And then we'll get our auth context, which is pretty straightforward. So basically the way I have it set up, this is basically mirroring what I have over on starter packs. At some point, I'll probably end up streamlining this and just making like one unified library that I can pull in to all this stuff. But for now, this will have to work. So we have our connect modal. I'll add this dependency. All right, let's set that up. Then we have our auth provider. Yeah, the one thing I do not have, well, I do, no, I haven't set up the React library yet. So we'll create a library here that will live in the libs skylounge React, and make sure, because we have the skylounge client. So yeah. We're not going to worry about any of that. None. Okay, so it's setting in that library. So we have our library here. Just going to grab the I think it's just some context stuff that I have set up. Yeah, it's just a little context provider and a hook. This will be the Sky Lounge provider. And then we'll grab the context real quick, and then we'll do some more renaming. Oops. What does it want me to do? Oh, I didn't rename this, yeah. So that should be good now. No? Oh yeah, we need the hook too. So really just a straightforward one here. Actually, no, it's done in the library. Add a little index. Add the index to this one. So yeah, so basically just setting up some of this basic stuff. The gist is that, yeah, see, I don't know why. It's right there. Oop. Just doesn't seem to want to find it. Oh. I will change that, but oh yeah, and it's the Sky Lounge context. So that's all Sky Lounge stuff. Basically what this provider does is it allows you to set the API URL, configure a client to pass in, as well as a token and a user. And then, if you don't pass a client, it'll create one for you. And that's pretty much the gist of that one. And then I have the auth provider, which is doing some checks against what's there. But this is just like the base of, hey, I want to be an authenticated Sky Lounge user. So roll that into the app. So we'll compose that in over here. Make sure what the package is actually. Yeah, so that looks right. I don't understand why this. Yeah, the library is not buildable, but you're also not in a library. You're in a app. I don't know why NX is dealing with that stuff. Buildable libraries cannot import or export non-buildable libraries. I think I'm just going to disable this module boundary thing. Super annoying. But I think it will still work. It's just linters linting. So yeah. Actually, I'm gonna move it out one level. And autocomplete's not working because of that. Or auto formatting's not working because of that, so that's fun. But and then I need the auth provider, which I don't think I didn't add all the index exports here. So we'll do that real quick. And we'll get this composed in here. And you can see there's definitely some placeholder stuff that, excuse me. Placeholder stuff that we have going on here, but eventually I'll get the fonts working. Again, I was running into weird NX like mapping issues when I was trying to pull those over. Okay, so I think the connect modal. So I also need to make sure that we'll do this. I Then we'll export this Bluesky stuff. Yeah, I still don't know what's going on there. It's all working. It's all there. Just weird stuff. So use Skylounge. It seems like that's good. I also need to configure the client. So we need to add in some next route stuff, or next like server side prop stuff. So basically, the way I've been setting this up in some other projects is we have this props directory, and then this is basically like a series of like middleware kind of handlers that you can compose into your get server side props. And we'll update all this stuff to be so it's the only problem with copying all this stuff, but it's all good. You definitely don't want to see me typing all this stuff. Or maybe you do, I don't know. But the gist is when a request comes in, and I'll add I don't know if I have, let's go to the index page. Yeah, I don't have any server-side props yet. So the way that I've been handling these is I have this package called nextprops. And I don't know if I have included it in this project yet, but we'll get it in there if it's not. Actually, it's next proper, but no, we have next meta. So yeah, I'll add that real quick. And then we'll add an index here. So basically, what this with auth will do is, you don't need that. That was actually causing issues with certain pages not getting their tokens. So it basically goes in, checks to see if we currently have a token. If not, that means if there's no access token and the page is not secure, then we just keep resolving whatever's in these handlers. And so it'll just keep flowing to the next. The fact that we only have this one means it'll just return there. If we don't have an access token and it is secure and we're on the connect page, that means we're all good. So we don't need to redirect to the connect. If we're not on the connect page, then that means we want to do a redirect to the connect page. And then in the event that we do have an access token, we basically need to try to like validate it and get some stuff. So we initialize a skylounge client. We don't have the user yet, so then we try to validate that token. If for whatever reason we get an error, we just delete the cookie. If we do end up getting a user, that means we're on the right track. And then so we create a Bluesky client. We restore the Bluesky session. If we're not able to restore the Bluesky session, we then again, it's like, okay, we have a bad, the Bluesky session has expired and we haven't, we probably don't have a refresh token that's valid enough to obtain a new one. So we'll again delete and kind of abort. And then also just do another delete and abort. I could probably throw those into like a finally maybe. And do some checks there, but so far so good. If an invalid user or invalid access token, we redirect to the connect as well. Just a bunch of little like catches. And then if we are on the connect and we have a user, then we redirect them to the home page. This is actually outdated stuff. And then eventually, if we've bypassed all of these rules, we resolve and we pass the access token and the user to the page. And then, and then so that means that we can then also access those via the page props. So we'll have our user and our access token. And then we have our Skylaunch provider. So we pass those in. Let me see if I'm actually, and then I'm also, so that it doesn't default to the URL since I want to have this locally. I do end up running it and passing it in the public API URL. So yeah, I don't think it's going to complain about that. So I think that should be good. These things should be wrapping. I'm not sure. Again, it's some ESLint prettier thing that I need to go back and adjust. But I feel like we're getting close. Oh, the one thing I need to do in the app module is we need to do the auth controller, auth module, and auth service. Yeah, I still don't understand why it says it can't find these, but yet it's building fine. What doesn't like? Can't resolve API auth. Oh, that would be why. Let's try that again. Yeah, I guess maybe I need to do some stuff here with the references. But no, looks like those two were added. I don't have anything not saved. Well, I guess back to this. So let me go to the website and see what we're seeing over here. I think I need to restart the site since I composed all that stuff into the app. Oh, that's annoying. All right, we're gonna fix some stuff real quick. We'll see where we can get. But I need to go in and I think remove that port thing because I think it's basically conflicting with the two different apps. This is definitely one of those like tiptoe things you have to end up doing when you're trying to work with like multiple apps. Oh, I also I should probably bring this up. If anyone's curious like what songs are playing, that's what those are down in the lower right there. There's a Spotify jam if you want to hop in and listen to some tunes that I'm listening to in the background. Maybe I'll end up going and just getting some like non-licensed or streaming streaming friendly music, but for now I'd rather just listen to my own tunes, and you can listen along as well. Yeah. All right, so let's see what we got going on in main over here. All right, so that should be right. That should be right. I think if I pull this down and spin it back up again, yeah, it should grab 3001. So those ports are no longer conflicting. Let's see how far we get here. I definitely need to do some stuff here. Maybe I'll make this whole like center page white or something. I don't know. I thought I was being fun with just this shot that I took out of the plane window a couple weeks ago. But we'll see. So, all right, we're not getting that yet. Let's trace it back. Oh, I know why. Because we don't have a click handler on it. And we need to do yeah, let's set up a hook for that. It already kind of knows that that's what I was going to do, so. Okay. Need to add an index to that hooks directory. Oops, sorry. Let's see, we're getting closer. There we go. So I'm just going to update that modal real quick. It's got a little helper text here, so we could do skylounge. I think it's skylounge app, and then skylounge.social. All right, now we need to see if the API is happy again. No, it's not. Doesn't like that API auth. With the app module, and in NestAuth we have API auth. I could just see if I remove the API. Is it going to resolve it? Maybe there's some sort of cache. Let's see, then it's like complaining about no exported members. Maybe I need to do an NX reset. All right. Quick little pauser. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. Calls come in. So where were we? Yeah, well, I guess let's actually see. Let's see if that fixed the API auth thing. I don't know. Yeah, that did it. So there's definitely some stuff going on. NX is caching some stuff, so I'm going to revert that back to the API auth, and we'll adjust some of these references here, and then we'll reset the cache, and maybe we'll be good. And it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, I feel like it went a little bit backwards. Didn't really have to deal with this much kind of cache stuff. I'm sure there's reasons why they're doing it. No, see? There's something else going on. Some other magic thing. Well, for now, I don't have to be that opinionated about the API auth. I will want to change it over just because I feel like that's a little bit more clear of like all the stuff that's specific for the API. But we'll go back to not being so specific and then get things working, get things right. But kind of annoying. So do another NX reset just in case. NX build API. It's doing the project graph. Where's this in that module? What's going on? Okay. All right, let's see how close we are. So we get yeah. Where did it send us? $3,006. Connect Bluesky. Target serve for projects. One task it depends on. Can't find my Prisma module. Oh, I know why. That's because when I did that, I think it's gotta be this. And make sure that that's again the right package where this thing should go. So it's building okay, it's just not Prisma.module, skylounge.libs, nest Prisma, Prisma module, Prisma module. I'm going to go check something out over here real quick. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm just showing you a broken thing. So basically, I have the Prisma service. This is the Prisma module. It's complaining that it's not, that this index is not getting the proper thing. And then it's also complaining about this. Let me cancel this real quick. It's not doing anything. Next reset, and next repair. And next build API. NX help. I think I can actually look at the graph. Maybe I can see what I think it's seeing if I look at this. Okay, so here, I guess let me go over here. So I'm on this is the API. And so it's pulling in API Connect, API Auth. API Auth is pulling in API Prisma, and API Connect is referencing Prisma schema, but not namespaced. Why is it not namespaced? Prisma schema. Oh, maybe this is the issue. So Prisma schema, it has a Prisma, but it also has a generated file. But the problem is, it seems like NX was actually picking up on packaged JSON files that were nested within that file. So maybe by excluding that, I then ended up excluding some other stuff. So that although I think I added this project JSON just because, yeah, let's see. Excuse me. So we have that. What other Prisma schema? Yeah, it's not liking it yet. That's referencing it. So although interestingly enough, this one likes it. Oh, maybe because it has the proper reference there. So yeah, so I also ignored it from NX here because it was causing those issues. I was thinking that was the fix, but it seems like it also added it to the exclude. So actually, let's run that again real quick, see if it picks up on it. Okay, it's looking better. So we do have Skylounge and Prisma schema. So the graph's looking better. I feel like we're getting closer to a working thing. Now the question is, now that we have that, can we serve the API yet? I did the build. Could not find Prisma module. And that's from Prisma API. So let's go back to over here. What is this? /skylounge/API. That's the app. Because it's referencing to end stuff. Then we have the site. And we have API Prisma, which is right. But yet it's not finding the module within that directory. Maybe it's an issue here. What was that other one that liked it? API Connect seems to like API Prisma. So let's go to connect/index. And the TS config there. Now it's just going up a level. Oh, it's going to Prisma. Yeah, why wouldn't it find something in itself? And then what else is this referencing? It's looking for the schema. Where else is Prisma schema reference from? Maybe that's the issue. Looks, it's all the same. Man, we have to wrap it up here in a few minutes, but it's definitely getting warmer. This still looks borked. Don't know why it's not finding local stuff to it. It's like the same issue that the Prisma service is having. Prisma module. So this is the thing that skylounge int auth module. Yeah, not 100% sure why. So this is like a new thing that it seems like that NX is doing. It's like when you create these nest libraries, the first module they create it with the skylounge int prefix in it, but then every other controller and service that you put in, it's not prefixed, and it's really, it's the blessing and the curse of having generated code. So it's why I'm still not liking this one. I have to graph it again. See what I can see. So this is the project API. We have auth, we have API connect, we have Prisma schema, API Prisma. Okay. I'm gonna figure out some stuff going on, but thanks for joining. Unfortunately, the code won today. But we will persevere tomorrow. So I probably am going to dive in and try to clean up some of this stuff just to get the API properly building and referencing stuff. There's something going on in the configuration that I haven't quite unlocked yet, but we'll figure it out. And then we'll see how it goes from there. But yeah, thanks for following along. I'm just going to keep jamming on Skylounge and we'll see where this project goes. And hopefully there's some stuff that you all get out of this as it's going. So thanks for joining. I'm Ryan Hefner. This has been a jam session, solos edition, and just working on skylounge.social. So thanks for jamming along, and I'll see y'all in the next one. All right. Have a great one. Later.